Hi, it's Tom from BlackToad Studios. I saw Dom's video for his sort of little update he did, and he's obviously put himself on camera. I thought, you know what, I haven't done that for a while. Thought I'd get my face back on here for a bit. And I'm going to try and make it kind of a standard for my Weekdays of Wargamer, to kind of have a little chat like this to the camera of what I've been doing, what I've been up to, before I go and show you all the models and stuff I've been painting, or anything, and anything worthy of what we've been, what we do on the channel, or anything sort of interesting that I might think you guys might look at with regards to the hobby. So obviously I haven't done a Weekdays of Wargamer for a little while. This was pretty much down to a few kind of family issues. Basically we had a funeral a few weeks ago now, for a very close aunt of mine, which kind of knocked me a little bit for six for doing modelling and stuff like that. However, I've kind of, that last sort of week or so, I've really got myself back into my painting, and I've been doing all this thing. I've done some Red Scorpions, done some Daughters of Khaine. I've actually done some Crimson Fists from other half as well, because we are going up to one of the Warhammer World events very shortly, to sort of play 5 games in a doubles event. I'm really looking forward to that actually, and it'll be Mother's first event sort of with me, so we're both looking forward to actually giving that a go. What else we got? Oh yeah, myself and Dom finished running our first BlackToad Studios event, which was really good fun. There was only a few people turned up. I think we ended up with about 6, 7. We did essentially a kind of narrative-based event based around teams. We'll probably get together at some point and go over what we did shortly, because I think we're due to do our Q&A soon, which has been sitting around waiting to do for a little while. Just haven't really had the time to get together and actually sit down and go through the questions that were presented to us and actually answer them on camera. But yeah, we're looking forward to getting that done. We've also got kind of an apocalypse game that me and Dom did recently. That'll be going up soon. That was Inquisition and versus Guard. Quite an interesting little game. Hope people enjoy watching that. Also, I think I've got an AbMech one knocking about somewhere as well. AbMech versus Red Scorpions. Hopefully I'll be having that up edited soon, now that I'm getting myself back in the stride of things. So yeah, what I'll do now is we'll just pick the camera up and we'll go over to the table, and I'll just show you what we've been working on, and see where we're going to go to next. Okay, so here is the first bit I'm going to show you. This is going to be some 40k stuff. So we've got Red Scorpions in front of you here. We've got 3 aggressors, a new lieutenant, and also the captain in Gravis armour, or Gravis armour, one of the two. These were to round out a 1,000-point list, or my half of a 2,000-point list essentially, for this Warhammer World event. And I decided I'm going to show that to you actually shortly anyway, so I won't go into too much detail to show you what the finished 2 lists together look like. But in front of you here we've got 3 auto bolt storm aggressors. These are quite easy to paint, to be honest, and I quite enjoy doing them. Because they're quite large, and there's not too many nooks and crannies to get into. You can do quite a nice job on them reasonably simplistically, and I'm quite happy with how they turned out actually. But yeah, so I'm probably not going to get any more of these now. I think 6 will be enough. I've got 3 of the flamers and 3 of these, and for the moment that'll be perfectly fine. And then we have a lieutenant, which I actually picked up on eBay actually a little while ago, because there's quite a lot of these floating around, mainly from the Dark Imperium box sets. And the only thing that was really annoying about this was obviously the shoulder pad isn't actually removable, so I had to cut that off and stick on one of my ones. But to be honest, it wasn't too bad actually, and it trimmed down quite easily, because the kit, I think, kind of looks like it's had one glued on anyway in the way it's been moulded, so just shaving down the line that was already there was reasonably easy. And then finally we have the Gravis captain, and he was basically done because I had one of them as a part of buying something from one of these lieutenants. It just came with it. And yeah, decided to get them painted up while I was doing it, and when I was in the mood for doing my Scorpion stuff, I had all the paints out, and so I just thought I'll get cracking with it. I've got one more lieutenant to do, but because I didn't really need it for the event at the moment, I just thought I'd just get the things I needed done, because I was already a bit short pressed for time. So yeah, we'll come back to them in a minute. And now we'll deviate a little away from 40k and onto Age of Sigmar. Down here we have my first squad of Witch Elves for my Daughters of Khaine. These were quite interesting to paint, to say the least. Quite a lot of new things I had to learn to do, like doing the hair and also skin. Now that was quite interesting to sort of get into, and I would say that this is my first lot, so be gentle. But I'll go into a bit more detail here, and also we're on with snowy bases because this is actually based around this map they're currently on. It was one of my things to try and encourage me to get some terrain done as well. Also, I tried to do a lot more detail on the faces than I normally do, which was actually fine. As long as you've got a good paintbrush with a good tip on it, it's actually not too bad. I mean, there are a couple which probably look like they might need a bit of a bit more attention just to sort out. But I was happy kind of where I left them, and I'm one of these people that once I've painted it, I need to sort of walk away from it for a few days or weeks or whatever, then come back to it and have a look for the mistakes and things, because I think sometimes your eyes adjust to what you've just painted, and you kind of go, oh, that looks fine, but then you suddenly realise actually a little bit further down the line that they need a bit of work. So the next thing for my Daughters of Khaine is another squad, which I was just over here. I'll just quickly go there. So they're all assembled and ready to be painted. I'm trying to do this army kind of one unit at a time, just to stop myself getting into the same problems I did with 40k, where I've got so many models that are unpainted. It's unbelievable. So yeah, so that's my Daughters of Khaine. Now I'm just going to shift over to show you the joint event force for the event we're going to. Okay, so in front of us here is 2,000 points. This consists of a battalion and a vanguard detachment. My Red Scorpions are forming the vanguard detachment on the left, and obviously the Crimson Fists on the right there are a battalion. That's going to be played by my other half, Vicky. This is for the Warhammer's double event in June. We're both looking forward to going to it. It's been a little bit of a slog getting some of the painting done. I was all right. Over here, I showed you the bits I added to it recently, which was basically the lieutenant and the 3 aggressors here. Vicky had to sort of paint a lot of the tactical squads from scratch within the last sort of 4 weeks or so. She's done a really good job getting them all done. I did assist with doing the aggressors, Pedro Cantor, and also the lieutenant and the librarian, just to get things moving along, because we were on a bit of a tight time schedule. But we're both really looking forward to going up. So essentially, the way the format works is it's 2,000 points. You both have 1,000 points each to spend on your side of the army. However, it must be battle forged, and also all the new FAQ rules are sort of integrated in there. So you can't have more than 3 copies of a particular unit. So obviously we're pushing it on the aggressors a bit, bang on the 3. We decided we wanted to try out some fun re-rolling shenanigans using lieutenants, and I'm going to be upgrading my guy to a chapter master to match Cantor's abilities here for re-rolling to hit. Stratagem wise, I think we're going to try some flak missiles out. Lots of little things like that. I mean, we haven't really played a lot together yet. We played a few games against each other while we're getting the rules down for Vicky, but we've both enjoyed ourselves sort of playing the game a bit and for a bit of a laugh. But yeah, so that's the 2,000 point list there. If there's any comments and critiques on it, obviously feel free to drop it in the bottom there, see how you think we'll do, and obviously I will update you in the next weekdays and let you know how we actually got on at the event, because it's I think it's next, well yeah, it's just one of the Fridays coming up. I think it's 23rd or 22nd or 23rd of June, so very close to till we go. So that's it for Weekdays of Wargamer. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I will be back hopefully more regularly and see you again soon. This is Tom from BlackToad Studios. Take care all.